We now know the name of the Grand Forks police officer who died in a shootout yesterday. 29-year-old Cody Holte was one of two to die from gunfire at a South Grand Forks apartment. Holte was responding to the apartment as backup after authorities say 41-year-old Salama Pendleton opened fire on two Grand Forks sheriff's deputies as they were serving eviction papers to Pendleton. Pendleton was wounded, remains at Altru Hospital along with a sheriff's deputy who remains in stable condition after being wounded as well. A woman, 61-year-old Lola Moore, was also shot and died inside the apartment. Valley News Team's Bailey Hurley joins us from Grand Forks now, where Cody Holte's boss provided us with insight into what Cody meant to those who worked next to him. Bailey? All right, we're apparently having some difficulties with her signal. I can tell you this, that Sheriff Mark Nelson, Officer Cody indicated from Nelson that he was a true servant. He served with the Grand Forks Police Department over 3 years, is a member of the County Water Rescue Team, as well as the Army National Guard. Chief Nelson indicated that you could always count on Officer Holte to have a smile on his face, and says that he made everyone's day better.
I don't care what kind of day you were having. If you came to work, you smiled when you saw Officer Holte.
Holte leaves behind a wife and infant son. Chief Nelson asks you to continue to keep them in your thoughts and prayers. Meanwhile, we're going to have a full news briefing tonight for you on our website. So if you want to catch the police chief's comments, you can do so, as well as going to the VNL News app. Dozens of people have placed flowers and signs outside the Grand Forks Police Department in honor of yesterday's fallen officer. Many who came out told Valley News Live they didn't know the officer, but wanted to show their support and appreciation during such a difficult time.
I guess we expect this from drug busts, not eviction notices. The whole Grand Forks everyone is saddened.
I just wanted to honor them, kind of, and felt sorry also for them.
He flew as an officer. Now he will fly and protect us all from above.
Funeral arrangements for Holte have not yet been set. Not as warm as yesterday, but this has still been a very nice Thursday for anything outside. Let's see if that continues for the rest of our evening, and Hutch is here now with that answer. Hutch?
Widespread conditions across the valley today, Mike, as we have quite a bit of cloud cover and spotty sprinkles of rain taking place mainly north of Interstate 94 this evening, but the wind has been persistent for all areas. It's in the 50s along the international border down towards Highway 2 and down to the south near 70 in South Dakota and Bismarck. Many of us will be in the 60s for quite some time. Here is a look at your Fargo planner, 9/11, the time of sunset. It'll be around that time when the gusty nature of the winds settle down substantially as we slip into the low 50s by the late evening hours. Grand Forks, similarly, although we'll be in the 40s. It does look like we get even cooler for Friday. I'll have details on that, and we'll look ahead toward the weekend here in just a moment.
All right, look forward to that. Thanks, Hutch. Those in law enforcement are part of a tight community. When one officer experiences tragedy, it's safe to say that others who wear the badge feel it as well. That's what's happening in Devil's Lake, where the death of the Grand Forks police officer hits close to home for a detective there. Valley News Team's Joshua Pagaro has the story.
Detective Nick Holter of the Devil's Lake Police Department says he first met Cody Holte in the police academy. It was the summer of 2016. Both were grinding it out to become officers.
He was a leader. He was trustworthy. He valued integrity. You know, he was a genuine guy, you know, possessing all of those necessary traits to be a great police officer.
Holter says they became close friends because their last names were identical. But when he learned of Holte dying in a shootout, it hit him hard.
Everybody deals with it a little bit differently, right? There's the shock, there's the disbelief. You know, when I heard about it yesterday, it was all of that.
Holter says Holte was in great physical shape and had a good can-do attitude.
The world lost a great soul.
He says you hear of officers dying in the line of duty in other parts of the country, and you never expect it to happen in North Dakota.
We pray every day that, you know, the goal is that we get to go home to our families. you know, and it's absolutely heartbreaking when someone can't do. I don't know. Can we wrap this up here quick? This isn't going the way I thought it would.
According to the National Law Enforcement Memorial Fund, 45 officers have died so far this year, a decrease from the same time period last year. Cody Holty will soon be added to his tragic fallen heroes list. The 29-year-old ending his watch on May 27th. In Grand Forks, Joshua Piguero, Valley News Live.
And Detective Holter says he's sending prayers to Holty's family during these tough times. Our technical difficulties have cleared up now. Let's go back to Grand Forks, where Bailey Hurley is right now. Bailey?
Mike, I want you to take a look at what's happening right now. People have been marching from Crookston High School. They're here in front of the Grand Forks Police Department right now. I'm going to let you take a look at what's happening. The Grand Forks Police Department, the East Grand Forks Police Department have locked down streets. There are dozens of people here. The Grand Forks Police Chief is out right now. He's just giving a speech about just how amazing the outpouring of love and support from the Grand Forks community has been, how appreciative he is, and just how great of an officer Cody Holty was. He said that he could put a smile on anybody's face. He was a true servant to his community. He was part of the water rescue team. He was just an amazing officer, and they are so sad to lose him so soon. Again, these people have been marching from Crookston High School from East Grand Forks over the river, and they are now here in front of the Grand Forks Police Department just to show their respects to these mourning officers in such a tragic time. They are putting they're trying to make a circle around the entire police department just to truly wrap them in love. I've never seen anything like this, Mike. It's truly amazing to look at. They're just trying to rally everybody around, but this is what's going on right here, right now. We have a reporter on scene. We'll have a full story on this tonight later. Reporting live in Grand Forks, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
And Bailey, despite all the sadness and tragedy surrounding the loss of Cody Holty, it is very nice to see how the area is responding to this tragedy. Thank you so much for that report. Cody Holty was a father, a husband, a son, nephew, uncle, and a hero to those around him. Friends say that Cody was ahead of the curve in sports growing up as a kid. Cody went to Norman County West Elementary in Hendrum, then Norman County High School in Halstead, Minnesota.
You wanted a friend like Cody Holty, right, in this life. You wanted your son to be like Cody Holty. I heard like our old coach, our baseball coach growing up, and he said something on the lines that whenever he was expecting that he wanted to have twins so they could be like Cody and Brady.
You're still at a loss for words, but did tell us that they will never forget the selfish man that did such a heroic act. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum says yesterday's events are a tragic reminder of the risk men and women in uniform face every day to protect our communities. The governor extends deepest condolences to Cody Holty's family, who he says made the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty. Doug Burgum asked all North Dakotans to pray for his loved ones, for the recovery of the injured deputy, and for the continued safety of all law enforcement officers. The governor adding that he's grateful for the officers and deputies whose swift action prevented further loss in life, and joins Grand Forks Police in mourning this devastating loss. In other news, a teenage boy is dead after drowning in the Cheyenne River. West Fargo Fire responding to reports of a drowning at Goldenwood Drive and 13th Avenue Northwest last night. When they arrived, 14-year-old James Nai was already pulled from the water. Crews had started CPR. The teenager was taken to an area hospital where he died this morning. A woman has died in a motorcycle crash in Otter Tail County. State troopers saying it happened overnight near the city of Otter Tail on Highway 78. Authorities say 44-year-old Christina Linguist Abel lost control on a curve, went into the ditch, and then crashed into a utility pole. No one else was hurt. North Dakota is now confirming 42 new cases across the state, along with one additional death from coronavirus. The latest victim, a man in his 80s from Cass County who had underlying health issues. 57 deaths have been linked to the illness in North Dakota. There have also been 42 new cases confirmed. 1,793 people have recovered, bringing the active case count to 688. In Minnesota, health officials are reporting another 35 COVID-19 deaths for a total of 967 in the state. 787 of those deaths happened in a nursing home or long-term care facility. 493 more coronavirus cases are being reported today, bringing the active case count to 5,325. 16,000 people are listed as recovered. Later on Valley News Live at 6, the Minnesota National Guard is called out as the mayor of Minneapolis calls for peace in a city where rioters step up the violence and looting.
Blue skies and sunshine to start the day in Fargo. We've seen some fair weather cumulus clouds develop throughout the afternoon. No rain here. The wind, though, was quite strong, gusting over 40 miles per hour. Your Friday facts and the forecast are next.